Considering that Kamaru Usman was just competing at welterweight, were you surprised at all when you heard his name be offered?
Yeah, I was surprised. I knew he was kind of in limbo after the losses, of course, and then the performance against Buckley. I was interested in what's he going to do. I knew he wasn't going to go out after a performance against Buckley. But when I think he was waiting for that welterweight shot, maybe fighting Islam, which is a great fight. But right now in that 170 division, there was just too many people on long active streaks that are putting their hands up. And, for him, I said this, at 170, there's nothing he can do that's going to be better than what he already done. He doesn't have the time. He's defended that belt many times, the winning streak, that's never going to be again. So for him, the only way to do something great to add to his legacy is to get that double champ status. So I was surprised, but it made sense, and I was really excited to be able to face a legend like Kamaru Usman.
And then obviously there's been a lot of talk about Strickland and Chimaev at the top of the weight class potentially rematching. What's your opinion on that potentially? I
mean, there's only one opinion that there should be. Between the two of them, they have an amazing 0 title defenses. So how do you warrant a rematch? In that case, I have 2, so give me a rematch then. I have 2 wins over the current champion. And, it makes 0 sense.
And then do you believe that a victory over Kamaru Usman is enough to give you that title shot that you want?
I don't believe a victory alone can be enough. I think my resume, definitely, but I don't believe that just a victory over Usman necessarily gives me that direct title shot. The same for him. But the performance, going out there and putting up a performance that eliminates any doubt that I'm the best in the world, that's what's going to guarantee me another shot at that title.
Hey, Dricus, we asked UFC Threads to give you some fan questions. We got 5 questions from the fans here. With all the achievements you have, what motivates you to still fight?
I've never really been motivated by going and saying, okay, now I've reached this. I have one goal. I have a lot of goals in between, like one of them being become a UFC champion, which is it's pretty high up there to become a UFC champion. But every organization I've ever fought in, I've been a champion. And that goal's been ticked. But I have one main goal that will always keep me on track and will always motivate me since the day I started the sport. And that is to be the greatest fighter to ever walk this earth. And that's my motivation.
Great. Next one is, have you ever considered a move up to 205 and how you'd match up with other exciting fighters like a Yuri Prochazka?
Yeah, absolutely. That was definitely on the cards. And, of course, I lost my title. And right now there's only one focus, is getting my belt back. And 100% moving up to 205, especially with, you see a lot of guys like Rob, Renier, all these guys going up to 205. And I believe the sport's been moving in that direction for a long time with the big weight cuts. I'm very big for 185, but I still make the weight very comfortably. So, for my age right now, I'm still very happy at 185, and I have a goal here. I'm not running away to 205. That's not happening. I will dominate this division again, and then I will make the move to 205.
Makes sense. You made history as the first South African to win a UFC championship when you beat Sean. How did that moment feel when you look back on that?
Yeah, man, just there were so many achievements in that for me personally. A lifelong goal of 15 years, grinding every single day towards this dream, being able to call myself the UFC champion of the world. The amount of hours that was put into that, the moment was surreal. It was incredible. It was one of the greatest moments of my life. No, it was the greatest moment of my life to this point. And being the first South African, being able to have that flag around my shoulders, seeing my whole country united once again because of sport, seeing the love that I got and that everybody had, just how proud everybody was of their country, of their countrymen. It was incredible. Getting home, getting the Euros welcome at the airport, doing a whole tour, belt tour through the country, and seeing all the support. It made every single day that the blood, sweat, and tears that I went through to get to that moment worth it, and I would do it all over again. It was an incredible moment.
It'll probably feel just as good to get it back, right?
Absolutely.
Last two here. This one says, I'm from South Africa. I really want to start MMA, but my parents won't allow me to do MMA. Do you have any advice on what I should do to convince them, and which base of mixed martial arts I should start with?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're going to show them a decent fight, like a proper, show them me and Hamza Chimaev. They'll let you fight immediately. That's boring as hell. People think that, like, even Taekwondo is more violent than that. People will go straight. Oh, no, these parents will be like, oh, this is nothing. Let him fight. Yeah, let them watch the Hamzat fight. If they don't fall asleep, then he's not allowed. But no, on a serious note, get into wrestling, get into judo, get into K1 kickboxing, get into something that if you want to be an MMA fighter, get into something useful. I'm not taking away anything, but to go and do just sport in where we are right now, just something like karate is not going to help you, fast track you to becoming a UFC champion. But something like wrestling, if you just go on the styles that become successful fighters, get into wrestling. I mean, it's an amazing sport. Get into grappling, get into jiu-jitsu. I've seen the difference, and I've seen the changes it makes in people. Any martial art, I just said, if you get into karate, any martial arts, it's incredible. It's incredible for any kids, for confidence. If you're a bully, if you're being bullied, it just goes all the way. Learning discipline. I know what this sport did for me. I know how this sport changed my life, and I do believe this sport can do that for anybody.
Great. And last fan question, more of a fun one. Dricus, if you could share a pint with anyone dead or alive, who would it be?
With anyone that is alive?
Dead or alive.
Oh, dead or alive.
Share a pint.
Well, I have two. They say there's a lady walking around in these halls. Of course, this place is haunted, so I would like a pint and hear what's her story. But she's dead. But alive, probably Max Verstappen.
Dricus. Kamaru was just in here, and I asked him about you saying how, it made sense for you to fight a wrestler because it didn't make sense for you to fight somebody that would be a striker, so you can prove you can beat a wrestler. And he said he tried to not pay too much attention to comments and things he sees online, but he said that he saw a comment of your coach saying that he would be stupid to try and stand and strike with you. And then he kind of took a shot and he said, this is the same coach that said, Hamzat would be stupid to try and wrestle with Dricus. So what do you make of those kind of comments?
Yeah, I mean, what does he want my coach to say? Oh, no, we are so scared of your wrestling. Please don't. Please. Should my coach act as if we are scared of his striking? What do you want us? What do you want to say? Yeah, sure. We lost our last fight. That's it. He is 3-1 in his last 4, so he can say a little bit less than me.
He calls himself a money weight fighter. He said that
what?
A money weight fighter. So he goes where the money goes.
Okay.
So he said
I guess that Buckley fight really, he got paid, nah? He got paid for that Buckley fight.
So he said that the UFC basically, they didn't want to do the Islam fight with him at 170 pounds. So he said he came up here because it was a good opportunity and the UFC thought it made sense for him. So do you think he's fully committed to the division when you hear him say things like, I'm a money weight fighter?
Yeah, I mean, you do you, man. Like, you say whatever you have to get that money, whatever. But let's be honest, he definitely was. But, and like I said, he is an incredible fighter, future Hall of Famer. He's done great things, but to call yourself right now a money weight fighter just means you've basically made peace with the fact that you will go wherever the money is, and you don't really have that goal set on being the best in the world anymore.
And when you talk about being the best in the world, what do you think is more impressive, being a 2-division champion or having a dominant title reign in one division and consistently beating the best guys?
Yeah, that's a very interesting debate, right? It's been ever since Conor became a double champion, that has been the talking point. Is it what defines a great champion? Because you go with the GOAT in John Jones, who is a double division champion, but what got him to being having that title is the fact that he was on such a long title reign. He was so dominant at his weight. But I think it's two different situations. I do believe that long reign grants you that title, but how long do you want to? I do believe there comes a time where you go, I have proven myself enough. I'm going up to test myself even more, because otherwise you're basically staying comfortable in that division, which you can do 100%. It can, it is still the legacy that a guy like Kamaru has. And that's why I say I have all the respect in the world for him as a fighter, now going up to 185 and going to test himself against a bigger weight loss. And, that's also an achievement on its own. I can't say which one means more, but to have a dominant run in a division, going up and becoming a champion, like Islam did, I think that is what, in today's day and age, what makes a great champion.
Last couple. Why do you think Nasruddin Imavov keeps getting bypassed for the title?
So Imavov, I have no idea. I have no intel. I have no inside intel. I just know how this machine works. Well, you never know how it works, but you can, being part of it. The UFC don't like it when, we've seen it even with guys, Merab and Aljamain, who refuses to fight each other. I understand that point, but the UFC wants the best guys to fight each other. And that makes sense too, from a business point of view. If everybody knows these are the two best guys they need to fight. So with Nasruddin Imavov saying, no, me and Hamzat are brothers, I'm not going to fight him, because that was the fight that was supposed to happen. And he said no, because we are brothers. They don't even train together, not even from the same country, not from the same gym. The UFC does not like that. So I do believe a big reason, and rightfully so. You can't go and, especially when you get that title shot, you're either taking it or not, because the division needs to go on. And I do believe that that is why he's being seen over so many times. And how long is he going to sit out? Because right now things are exciting. Things are exciting, and he's done the work. He can get that shot. Nobody would be angry, but you can't. You don't dictate this. You don't dictate, especially when you get that title shot.
If Hamzat doesn't get the title shot, like you said, he doesn't deserve that rematch. What should the UFC do with him?
Yeah, I think Strickland said he'll be ready in end of the year in December. I do believe the Imavov-Strickland fight is the fight to make. I do believe that's the right fight to make. And I think so. Strickland has beaten him on short notice before. He obviously wants that win back. I think it's a great fight.
Last one. What is the best DDP via meme you've ever heard?
Oh, wow. I think the best one was definitely DDP via hiring Sean Strickland. That was definitely the best one. Thank you, everyone.
Welcome to Oklahoma City, Kamaru.
Well, thank you.
Last time out, we saw you put on a really dominant performance versus Joaquin Buckley. What went into the decision to move up here to 185 pounds?
Just the opportunity. I like to joke and say I'm a money weight fighter now. So, hey, if it's up at welterweight, I'll do it. If it's up at middleweight, I'll do it. Shit, if it's up at light heavyweight, I might do it.
Do you see this path at middleweight is maybe easier to get to the title than it was at 170?
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say easier. I think it just fit. It just made sense. I obviously wanted the Islam fight. We talked about that, and I thought that was what was going to be next. But unfortunately, in these things like this, the company kind of has a big say in this. And they felt this was an opportunity. Obviously, I've been up here before and fought the former champion. And so this one just made sense at this time. But it's definitely not easy. I wouldn't say easier with respect to some of these guys right now at the top. I mean, guys like Jared Cannonier, guys like Nasruddin Imavov, Caio Borralho, all these guys, Robocop, all these guys are extremely tough, just like Prates and Morales and all these guys. So, hey, it is what it is.
And then what did you think of Sean Strickland's win over Chimaev and then potentially rematching in the future?
Well, I thought it was a very, very close fight. I thought Sean Strickland did a good job. Obviously, he's improved greatly since we fought, and so have I. But, yeah, he did a great job in kind of fighting the type of fight that he needed to fight to come out with the win. I thought it was extremely close. It could have gone either way. But that's the way the judges put it, so it is what it is. He's the champ now.
Hey, Kamaru. We asked Threads fans on UFC to give you some questions. Here's what they came up with. If you could spar with any fighter from any era, who would it be?
George St. Pierre.
That one was quick. Why so quick?
Because George is it's a guy that I admire a lot, a guy that I've watched compete, a guy that I consider one of the best to do this, and a good friend now. And so, when you're coming up, I got a chance to. I was in a spot at one point where that was potentially something that could have materialized, but getting the chance to meet him and watch him and learning kind of his processes and the way that I deal with things now with my team, that would have been fantastic. And it might not be out of the question. One day we might be able to just roll around. So, yeah, we'll see.
Stays in great shape, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Is there going to be a podcast this week? And if so, who's the guest?
Oh, from us at Pound for Pound? We're trying. We just can't freaking get Henry. Henry's been traveling. As we know, he just competed last week, so we just can't quite lock him. We can't quite lock him down yet. But, yeah, we're definitely trying to get something going. And who's the guest? I'm the guest this week. I mean, I'm the one performing, so why not?
Cool. After this fight, you got to pick one person who could be next. Prates, Machado Gary, or Islam?
After this fight, who's next for me?
Yeah, pick one. That was what the fan question was.
Sean Strickland. I mean, that makes sense. That's pretty easy. Cool. It's either Sean Strickland or Islam, if Islam is still the champion, which I assume he will be.
Fair. Do you think a double champ for you would make you a top 5 fighter all time?
I mean, I already kind of feel that in my head. I'll be, of course, as a athlete, a supreme athlete, like I think in my head, I think I already am. But of course, that's the one club that I'm not in yet, and I would like to be in that club. I like being in all the clubs here, except for my brother Justin, who's, like I said, the most decorated UFC fighter we've ever had. He's in a different club that most people can't get into, but if I get into this one, at least I can say, hey, I'm in that club, and you're not in it.
Fair. We got 2 more. As the former welterweight champion, do you think it's possible for Islam to do what you did and come up now to middleweight at any point in his career?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not. Of course, I think Islam is a fantastic fighter. I think Islam can do just about anything. When they were saying, oh, he's too small to go to welterweight, I'm like, I don't think so. I think Islam can make it happen. So I think Islam can do whatever he wants to do. But right now I'm focused on me. And right now I'm trying to get into this champ club.
The last fan question is, do you think you'll ever fight at 170 again, or is 185 the new home?
I'm a money weight fighter. If 170 presents itself, hey, talk to the team, Ali Abdelaziz, we go out there and we grab that.
Perfect. Thank you, Kamaru.
I got one more for you, Kamaru. When you saw how easy Chimaev was able to control Dricus on the ground, did that give you confidence coming into this weekend?
No, I wouldn't say necessarily confidence. Like, that's the big thing. A lot of people are looking at this and going just, oh, yeah, you're a wrestler. You're just going to wrestle. No, there's a lot of things. When I watch fights, it's not just, oh, he exploited that. That's what I'm going to do too. It's different. Different styles make fights. Different fighters make fights. And the biggest thing that I don't think people really understand unless they're actually in there is it's the spiritual aspect of it too. You have to deal with his spirit. yeah, just because Chimaev had success doing all that, that doesn't necessarily mean the next wrestler is going to have that level of success. It's how he deals with my spirit. I mean, different. You know, it might just be a striking matchup. I might just piece him up, or I might take him down, or it might be something different. So, you know, I respect his spirit. He fights hard. He's big. He's strong, and he's going to come into the fight. And whatever he gives me, that's the spiritual dance. Whatever he gives me, I'm going to take and try to exploit. So it's not just about the wrestling. It's just about being a complete fighter and being able to go out there and do what I do best, which is dominate.
Yeah, Kamaru. There's an old video out there of you and Islam. I think it was on Anatomy of a Fighter. And it was when you guys were just kind of talking to each other, saying like, bro, we're going to be here one day and we're potentially going to, you know, fill out this arena. What do you remember that moment?
Absolutely. I think I was champion. I was a welterweight champion, and Islam wasn't champion yet. And we were talking about it. But even at that time, I knew Islam had the potential to become a champion, a great champion, once Khabib and everything kind of cleared up there at that division. But, you know, Islam was a champion at that time, and me and Islam have always been great, cool, and friendly. And I'm like, hey, you know, you're a big guy. I'm sizing him up. You're a big guy. You know, he's like, yeah, if there's ever an opportunity, it'll be a blockbuster fight. Islam is the pound-for-pound number one right now. Have we ever had the pound-for-pound number one fight the former pound-for-pound number one? We never had that. You know, and that's an opportunity I think the company missed before this. But it is what it is. Maybe that fight might materialize again. But, you know, like I said, I know I don't have a ton of these left, so I'm just grateful for each and every one that I have now and going out there and making the biggest and best memories that I can.
I was just going to say, when you look at the names, like you hear Damian Maia, Woodley, Covington, Masvidal, Burns, like these are guys that are now their careers finished. So what is that? What do you get out of that when you can still be up here, you know, holding the fort down?
I'm grateful that I was, as much of little bumps and bruises that I've had as well, I'm grateful that I'm still able to do this, that I'm still able to put myself through. It's not just the fight. It's the training camps. To get through the training camps, to be able to go in there and perform, I'm just grateful. I have a great team, great coaches, and kind of put a lot. I put a lot into my body, even when I'm not competing or training. So I have a great team that kind of supports me and helps me do this. So I'm just grateful.
And then last one, I know you said you're kind of excited to not just go with the wrestling this week. You like mixing it up with guys. Dricus said he's looking forward to this fight because it wouldn't make sense for him to go out and get a win against just a pure striker after the way the Chimaev fight went. He said he likes the fact that the wrestling's going to be incorporated and potentially tested again. So what do you make of that statement?
You know, I try not to let any of the stuff get to me. I don't try not to pay that much attention to it. But I also saw a clip of, I think it's his coach, saying that I would be stupid to stand with him. I would be stupid to do this. And this is the same coach that said that if Hamza is just going to use wrestling, Hamza will be stupid to go in there and try that. So I try not to pay attention to any of that. I know what I put in, what I've put in for years and years and years. I trust my team, which is why I ride with my team. It's the same team over and over and over. They know me, and I'm just excited to go in there, let all the training, all the preparation take over, and just basically paint another masterpiece. That's it. We're good. All right. Thank you, guys.